Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert with The Ted Show. I am super excited to have Steve Bardy on the show. Steve is with Pet Alliance of Greater Orlando. And you know, I'm a big animal lover. And so anytime that I can do to bring to light, adopt, don't shop, especially this time of year, I'm excited to do. Welcome to the show, Steve. How you doing?
I'm doing quite well. Thanks for asking.
Well, good. So tell us a little bit about you. You know, people love the origin story. They want to know who Steve is. Obviously, you weren't born and you were with the Pet Alliance. They want to know a little bit of a background.
No. So I have been with Pet Alliance almost 5 years. And I knew, from the time I think I was about 15, maybe 16, that I would work in animal welfare. I just didn't know what that would look like. But
what was it? Did you grow up with pets and you just loved animals, or how did you know that?
So I had a dog when I was little, and it passed away when I was at Little League. When I was 8 years old, my parents took it and had him euthanized. He was really old and sick, but probably why I didn't like playing Little League after that. And so when I spent the next 5 years really encouraging my parents to get me a dog for Christmas. And finally at 13, I thought my dream had come true. And, everything was a big production around Christmas and who got the last gift and, all that kind of silliness. And I could hear all morning long this thing in the kitchen, and I wasn't allowed to go in the kitchen, but I could hear something scratching. So, 13-year-old Steve was sitting on the couch being very patient and super excited and just knew he was getting a puppy. And I did everything to contain myself, as cool 13-year-olds can do. And after it was over, my mom's like, okay, well, everybody's gifts been given out. And I still sat on the couch. I was like, well, I hear something in the kitchen. And then my mom goes, oh, wait, Santa left something in the kitchen. And I was like, here it is. My puppy is coming. And my mom's like, oh, it looks like it's for you, Steve. So you need to close your eyes. So I close my eyes and, I hear it. And they put this box in front of me and I open my eyes and I look down and I'm like, that's not a puppy. And my mom's like, it's a guinea pig. And I burst into tears.
I bet you did.
And ran into my room. 13-year-old, and could not contain myself. And my parents quickly ushered the guinea pig into my brother's room. And my mom came in and my stepdad came in and he was yelling at me. And my mom's like, why are you so upset? And I was like, it's not a dog.
It's a guinea pig.
So, a couple years later, we did finally get a dog, and my parents insisted that it be an outside dog. And I was wholly unhappy with all of that and told my mom, because somebody stole my dog. And I blamed my parents and I told them, I would get a dog when I bought a house, and that, I didn't want them to, give me any more pets. And, as petulant as a 15-year-old can be. But we still talk about the epic Christmas misfire of
the guinea pig.
And that was 42 years ago. So it still resonates with me, which is likely my desire to maybe help people get the right pet for themselves, particularly around Christmas. I believe that parents can do a good job. You can't give a kid a guinea pig if they ask for a kitten.
Well, I love that story. I was not expecting that. So love it. I'm sorry for you, but I love it. But I think you're right. But I also think parents you want to give your kids everything. So the first thing you think of is brand new puppy, got to get it from a breeder, got to figure out, don't want an older dog. Talk about some of that, because I'm amazed. We adopted a 2-year-old golden, and I can't believe that somebody was going to get rid of that dog.
Yeah.
Because he's part of our family. He's a living, breathing being. And so I think a lot of people are looking for that reaction that you thought you might get as a 15-year-old from their kids. And then they don't realize all of the stuff that happens after that initial reaction takes place. And so there's a lot of issues. You said not January, which is fascinating to me. But I think it's so important for you to kind of talk about why the adopting is really where it's at, because there are so many animals, so many pets and hopeful family members that need to be adopted.
So I think one thing that there are actually several things that families need to consider. Particularly when you get a puppy or a kitten. So dogs live 12 to 14 years and cats live, 16 to 20 years. So if you get your 10-year-old an animal, you have to be prepared that for the last 8 years or so, your kid's going to be out of the house. If they go to college, they may or may not be able to take that animal with them.
True.
You also have to be prepared for all of the things that your kid does after school. And as much as, 13-year-old Steve told his parents, I want this, I'm committed, I was also very active after school as well. And maybe my parents thought, oh, well, we'll get him something we can put in a cage and,
yes,
he can ignore it. I don't know. It wasn't a dog, but families need to make those decisions together. And it is great. We do get a lot of people that want that morning of excitement, and that is a moment. But you can actually get that moment anytime during the year when you adopt. So it doesn't have to be that Christmas day. And in fact, Christmas Day can be a really disconcerting time to introduce a new animal into your home. Maybe not this year because people aren't, congregating and gathering as much. But you have to think about the animal. It's actually probably better to introduce it prior to Christmas or just after Christmas, and think about it in that regard. There are lots of animals in shelters, and maybe not the specific cat that you had in your mind. But one thing that shelters do is they ask you questions. They ask you a lot about your lifestyle. And lifestyle is very important. If you're active and energetic and you want to do all this, then there are certain types of dogs or cats. My mom is 82 and lost her dog earlier this year and recently adopted a 10-year-old kind of mixed breed dog that she's just over the moon for. And she lives in a different state. My cousin volunteers at another shelter. And, we kind of talked about what would be a good fit for my mom. And those are the conversations people need to have. And parents in particular need to be prepared to step up and train a puppy, particularly coming into the house, because kids aren't equipped to do that. So a lot of times I'll talk to families, and if they bring the kids in with them, I'm like, okay, Bobby, your role is to feed your dog every morning, and your sister's role is to feed your dog every night. Can you guys commit to that? And kind of making sure that families understand the care of a pet is a family thing, and it's not on one person. So when the child maybe gets a little less enamored with the animal, that the parents know, okay, it's still got to be walked, it's still got to be fed, it still needs to go to the vet. And we find that when parents go into it with that kind of thoughtfulness, that it really is very successful. When they understand, there's going to be some bridge time. This is something I'm going to have to clean up after. It is another responsibility.
It's such a responsibility, and I think you're right. You're instructing people, you're giving people advice to actually have those expectations set. Talk about it with your family. Talk about it with your kids. We knew when we would bring a new baby into the house that as much as we believed our children wanted to be as responsible as we'd like them to be, that still it was a family pet. It was a family member. And so all of the family needed to be responsible and take part in making sure that our other family member was taken care of. Tell us about what role, share with what role Pet Alliance of Greater Orlando serves in the community.
So we've been here since 1937, and we were here before any other rescues, any other groups, and we've been serving the community. We'll take in more than 6,000 dogs and cats between our two shelters. This year alone, we took in about 2,100 kittens. So there are lots of animals that get surrendered. We are primarily an owner surrendered facility, meaning the animal has to have had an owner. But we do transfer in from shelters that may ultimately euthanize an animal. So last week we transferred in 60 dogs from Texas that were likely to be euthanized. Many of them got adopted over the weekend. They were young dogs. Some were puppies. Some were 8 months old, 10 months old. And so we work with rescue partners from different cities, different states, to bring in animals that we know can get adopted here in Orlando. So sometimes it takes a bit of patience sometimes, and particularly with COVID, we have appointments and stuff like that. But it comes with it. We talk to the families. We spend a good amount of time just asking questions. I mean, we're not too over the top crazy about it. But ask questions. We really want to know about your lifestyle. If you like, I go back to my mom's example. She needed a dog that she could walk. So a senior dog was perfect for her. And we had the conversation, Mom, if this dog outlives you, I will take this dog. So, between my siblings and I, it's like, what is that plan? So you really look at the stage of life that somebody's in and what they're looking to accomplish with having a pet. And if they have other pets, is this a good time to introduce another pet? If they have 2 cats, do they want to introduce the third? We really spend some time talking with people about that. And, that's what shelters across the country do. It's why we talk about adopt, don't shop.
It's interesting to me. Yes, adopt, don't shop, which we put on there. It's interesting to me I have friends that people I know who if you watch anything on Reels or stories or anything on social media, anything where there's a dog or a cat who's basically picked their owner when they're in a shelter and they've identified with them and they've responded to them, there's nothing like that. This is this bond that the animals, we have to give them so much more credit than we do in general. And so if you have not been to a shelter, I encourage you to go and to experience that and to see, because all of these animals deserve love. They deserve a family. And it just breaks my heart sometimes when I see people buying. I'm not negating anybody's livelihood, but there is a place for you, a puppy for you, a dog for you, an older dog, an animal that's going to fit right into your heart and to your home. You just have to do a little bit of digging. And sometimes you have to go through. I mean, the last time I was there, and it's been a long time, I just wanted to bring them all home. Yeah. And I think that is when you love animals and you see that they are just vying for love and attention, then they just want to give it back 100-fold. Yeah, you want to take everyone home. If I could have a giant 50-acre place where I could keep every single one of them and they'd have a great life, I would.
But I think you would be denying all those other families a great dog.
Yes, you're right. I don't want to take away from those families, but I do want to encourage people, if you're considering it, if you are looking at bringing in a new family member, to reach out to Steve and to the Pet Alliance of Greater Orlando, because there is the perfect match for you. You just have to do a little bit more work at going through and finding out who that is, which baby, which pet baby, which fur baby that is for you.
And our shelter staff and volunteers are very well prepared they will have endless conversations with you. They want to make sure it's right. So one of the challenges that we have sometimes is we don't euthanize animals, so they can stay here as long as they need to, to get adopted. So, Ted, if you come in and you're like, this is what I want, and we're like, Ted, this dog is really not the right dog for you. Sometimes it's hard to convince people, particularly around huskies. We get a lot of huskies, and huskies are our most returned dog.
Are they? Why?
They're very active, very energetic, and need lots of time to just, they need activity. So if you think you're going to Netflix and chill with a husky, you're probably not going to. Other than my nephew has the most chill husky ever, but it's not going to happen. So people get this beautiful dog, they see it, and we're like, it may not be the right fit for you.
Correct.
And then the next day they bring it back. And so we, our staff and volunteers are really there kind of as a support system for you to help kind of guide you through. I've talked lots of people out of adopting puppies. When you sit down and talk with them and you kind of lay out the work, I'm like, are you really prepared for this? I remember earlier in the year, a grad student came in and she was all set on this puppy. And I sat down with her and she went through her work schedule and her school schedule. And I said, you honestly don't have time for a puppy. You have time for a 6 to 8 year old dog, that's already house trained, that doesn't need, to have lots and lots of training and lots of time. But in her heart, she's like, well, I really want to get a puppy. And so I suggested, why don't you wait a year until you're finished with grad school? And at least that's one thing off the plate. So, we try to have these conversations with people that aren't really being judgmental. They're designed to be helpful so that we're not getting returned down.
Right. Well, you guys see the challenges on the other end. So you're able to kind of head that off at the pass by having the conversations, trying to educate them, getting an idea of what it is the living situation is going to be and the expectation. I think a lot of people just go, oh, I'm lonely, or, oh, I grew up with a pet, so I want a pet, or my kids want a pet. And they don't think through what that actually is going to do, but not only for them personally, but how that's going to impact the animal that you bring into the house. So if you are in grad school and you're working 40 hours a week and you are never home, a puppy is probably the worst mistake on the planet. You could have
maybe a cat. A cat might be more in your wheelhouse.
They're much more self-sufficient.
Yeah, they are independent. They're self-sufficient, and they let you know when they want attention, and they can curl up in your lap while you're doing schoolwork, and so it's really, it's some people call it a paradigm shift. It's taking what somebody has, and I know this because 20 years ago I was set on I was going to get a golden retriever. I spent months scouring shelters in South Florida, and I ended up with this scrawny, flea-bitten brindle dog that just stole my heart from the moment I saw her. And I've had 3 brindle girl dogs ever since.
I love it.
But my visual was Zach, the golden retriever.
Yes.
And I never got Zach, the golden retriever, but I got the greatest merino dog ever, followed by Sophie, and now with Molly.
Well, now you can come and pet my 2 Goldens anytime you'd like. All right. So tell people how they can adopt, not shop, how they can get involved, give back, how they can learn more about Pet Alliance of Greater Orlando.
So it's pretty, I'm going to say it's pretty easy, but I know that sometimes right now getting an appointment with us can be a little bit challenging because we're not just open. You have to have an appointment to come in. We do accept walk-ins if we don't have an appointment, but schedule an appointment, come in, see the available animals. They're all posted on our website. An animal that's available is posted on our website. If you don't see it and you had seen it, it means it's been adopted.
Right.
So in this past weekend, we had a large adoption event at PetSmart. So we had quite a few adorable smaller dogs and puppies that went pretty quickly. And we don't have any more scheduled before Christmas. And so as you see them, just schedule an appointment, come in. We have kittens in both shelters. We have kittens at several of our offsite locations. So it's pretty easy to kind of get in. All of our offsite locations, like PetSmart, Petco's, pet supermarkets, where we have animals, you don't need an appointment. You can just go during regular shopping hours. But for those that are in our shelters, you certainly do. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Sometimes you'll see puppies and kittens that are in foster care that aren't available yet, but will be available in the coming weeks. So I have a separate Instagram account whenever I foster, just for that, because it makes my life so much easier just to put it in one place. And so, that it's pretty easy. As far as helping out, we always need fosters. So if you're not ready to commit to, a dog or a cat, we're always looking for people to foster. Primarily, we need people that can foster kittens or puppies for 2 to 8 weeks, just depending on when they came in, and that, that really allows you to really engage on a lot of levels.
Yes.
With Pet Alliance, but we have other programs and other volunteer opportunities as well.
All right, so Steve Bardy with Pet Alliance of Greater Orlando. You all, if you're thinking about bringing a new family member, a fur family member into your world, please go to petallianceorlando.org. Check it out. Look at all of the amazing, beautiful potential family members you could have. And then, of course, Steve and his team will help you find the one that makes the most sense for you and your lifestyle and for that particular animal, because you think but you don't necessarily know. So it's really good to have somebody who can walk you through it. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for all you do in our community, Steve, and your team, petallianceorlando.org. Thanks for being on the show, my friend.
Thanks so much, Ted.
All right. Adopt, don't shop, guys. Adopt, don't shop. Promise you, you're never going to regret it. It's the most amazing thing. We'll see you later. Happy holidays, everybody. Bye, everyone.